welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet. You used to make an angel smile. Nothing on earth has excited you since. Plus, if you're a king, where's your prince? We're all fighting a hard battle, mostly with ourselves. Slavery is still very much alive and well. I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. Yay!
And I'm Guy Pigton. And I see you picked some suitably emo lyrics to reflect your state of mind.
That's exactly what it was, and I actually fucked up the end a little bit, but you know, close enough. That was King 810 from their song A Conversation with God. I do recommend that band. I've really been thrashing them. If you like metal.
Speaking of depression, I walked into your room the other day.
Yeah.
And you were lying half on your bed. Not even really fully. You weren't fully on your bed. Your feet were on the ground. So you couldn't even sum up the energy to put your feet on your bed. So your feet were on the ground. Top half was lying on the bed. You were in your full motorcycle gear. So you're just driven home. You're in your full motorcycle gear. You hadn't taken that off. Hadn't bothered to take that off. And then you just had a corner of your duvet covering your face. Like you didn't turn the light off or anything. You know, you literally just, and it was the blanket, whole blanket wasn't covering you.
I hadn't even turned the light on, and it was like dusk, you know, so it was, just imagine a cold light.
The door was wide open. And you were just half lying on your bed in your full motorcycle gear with your face covered by your blanket.
Yeah, didn't bother shutting the door, just didn't care, just came home from work.
But I don't really think that you're going to have a nap there. That was a literal just, I'm defeated. This is me as defeated as I could possibly be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, generally people don't really come into my room. You don't knock on the door that often or anything like that. Now, the door was wide open, don't get me wrong.
Wow.
But
yeah.
I just walked in, put down my helmet.
Yeah.
I still had my high-vis vest on, my big pants, my boots, everything. And leather. Just full leather, just lay down and just gave up, really, basically.
So I thought that was a pretty amusing sight.
My best friend, ladies and gentlemen.
It was pretty funny.
Amusing.
Well, it was pretty funny to see someone that
you bastard,
making such a half-assed attempt at everything. It was
worth mentioning that my room was just in absolute disarray as well. It's not like, don't picture this in some, you know, respectable habitation that a 34-year-old might have. You know, there's just shit everywhere. It's all over the floor. It's just, my desk's a mess. It's just a real disaster.
Well, I mean, I can't really talk, but I will say that there was a time where there was some effort going into your room being maintained.
Yeah.
And it has really gone way downhill.
Yeah, there's literally like massive piles of shit. I have to kind of like step onto the bed to get around the room sometimes because there's just shit, and it's like it's a small room, so there's just no room for big piles of shit.
Yeah.
And yet there it is. Those big piles of shit, which I clamber and climb over every fucking night. It'd be so much easier if I just, you know, did something with them, but that's just not how I operate. Not right now. Basically, right now, I've got a lot of things to do. Tidying my room is one of them, and they all feel like fucking chores. You know, well, tidying room is a chore, but you know, even the fun things that I have to do feel like chores at the moment. And the thing is, I've got lots to do. You see, what happened was, back when I was a hip young actor that was moving to Hollywood, I was in this, 6 months ago, I was in this, or less, I was in this mood of, I was positive and proactive and all of that stuff, and I was chasing and hustling and grinding because I was like, fuck, I've got to move to Los Angeles in December of this year. Right, I've got so much to do, and I was very motivated, and I was going real hard trying to get cast. I was, creating more of my own content as well, and you're just really hustling and grinding. And now all of that stuff, all those seeds that I sowed are sort of germinating, and now I'm in a totally different mindset. I'm not Mr. Positive and Mr. Proactive. I'm Mr. fucking lie on the bed with the corner of the duvet over your face. And I just don't feel like, all of these crazy things I have to do. Like tomorrow, for example, I'm flying to Wellington for a role, right? And that's obviously very exciting, and I'm fucking stoked to be doing that. But it's also, it's not really. I'm not like, yay, working holiday. I'm the man. I'm on my way to Hollywood. I'm just like, well, where's my duvet?
Where's the corner of it? I hope they have the corner of a duvet in the place that I'm staying.
Yeah. I'll tell you something you notice when you get dumped, mate. New segment, things you notice when you get dumped.
This is good.
Good segment, yeah. No, well, it's just how many people ask you every day. How many people ask me every day, how's your day going? Always ask me how's my fucking days going. And it's like all day, every day. It's a fucking Uber driver, it's someone at the gym, it's just everyone. And it's like, well, how's your day going? And it's like, well, actually, mate, my day fucking sucks. I'm really down at the moment, and I don't feel like smiling and fucking lying to you. So, shut up. But I also don't feel like telling you my problems. So, I normally reply, he goes, oh, how's your day going? And I normally go, oh, it was a day, or something to that effect, and
some sad sack remark.
So anyway, my day usually is going a lot better than that Uber driver's is, though. After I give him one fucking star, too many fucking questions. Fucking
too many
nosy prick.
Too many polite questions.
No.
The first things that Uber suggest is to make conversation with the passengers.
Right.
So there you go. Doesn't always pay off.
Doesn't always pay off. So those Uber drivers all got one star. But yeah, it has been pretty tough in all seriousness. And the other day, Angie's sister came and got all her stuff from her room. From my room, sorry, sort of a whole bunch of shit that I was holding on to for Angie. And, the thing is that this is the girl, her sister is the woman that I met Angie through, So it's like I met her, and then soon after I met Angie, and then Angie left, and then soon after her sister is sort of picking up this shit and moving out of my house, my life as well, and sort of taking the last connections to Angie with her as well. It's like these physical things, these trinkets of bits of crap that have been lying around my room, but they've been lying around my room for years, and they were Angie's trinkets and bits of crap, and now they're sort of being taken away, which is quite a tough day that day. And we cried. The sister and I cried together and hugged.
A dual cry.
Yeah, and it was like it was hard because she reminded me of Angie.
Yeah.
And she felt like Angie when I gave her a hug,
And sniffed her hair.
And sniffed her hair a little bit. Because she sort of smells like her too. So,
of course. The family, it's the sister.
Yeah. And so... So that was pretty emotional and tough, and then she got in the car and took all that shit sort of with her and drove out of my life, leaving me just alone on the porch. And it was tough.
Well, don't really have anything more to contribute to that.
Right.
The good thing is, at least, you don't have to. You're not having to move anywhere.
Yeah.
Because that's when I had my breakup.
Yeah, to move as well.
I had to move as well.
Yeah.
And moving is not good at the best of times.
No.
But when you're broken up with someone, is that again? You talk about that not motivation to do anything, and sort of just being like, why anything?
Yeah,
why anything right now? So yeah, that's a small glimmer of hope.
Well, I mean, on to that, I would say I did actually have to move twice. At the time that Angie was leaving. So I moved twice within 6 weeks and got ripped off $1,000 worth of stuff the second time I moved.
I forgot about that.
Thanks to Bull 18.
I forgot about Bull 18.
Never use Bull 18. They're a house moving company in New Zealand and Australia. Do not use them.
Did they say they were going to give you some money, maybe?
They did, and then they never did it, Right. I was like, yep, cool, all right, I'll take it. It's a shit deal. It was like $250.
Yeah.
And I'm down like nearly $1,000. And then they're like $250, and I took it, and then they just literally just never replied to me, and I kept on hounding them, and I kept on threatening them with putting them on TV and shit. But in the end, I was like, fuck all this drama, and I just moved on with my life. So $1,000 short.
You didn't put them on TV?
No, I could have got them on.
There you go.
Well, I was thinking about it, and I do have connections in the building, so I think I'd be able to get it in front of them easy enough,
Well, yeah, funnily enough, the company, no names here, but the company that I work for was on Fair Go recently.
Right, yeah.
The security company that I work for was on Fair Go.
Right.
They just popped up there, so I mean, I'll let you draw your own conclusions on that. But there you go.
Back to that point, though.
Yeah.
Is that, where were we?
Breaking up, moving out.
Yes, I did move out twice. I moved out twice. I had to move freaking 2 times, and I got ripped off, and I knew Angie was leaving like the week after kind of thing. So that was very similar. But anyway, on the upside, I do...
So my upside has been completely negated.
It has been, yes. But I do have an upside.
Okay.
Which is that the shit that her sister took away with her... has been taken out of my tiny little room.
So you got more room.
So I've got more room, which is nice. And yeah, now the hole in my room where her stuff was gapes like the hole in my heart.
Well, this has been a pretty positive podcast so far.
Yeah. Well, look, this is a filmmaking podcast.
And it's a podcast about our lives.
This is a big part of my life. You might have to expect a few downer episodes. But look, I'll tell you something. Since that last episode went out, I've had 3 separate listeners, all of whom can remain anonymous, tell me that they're going through breakups at the moment. So...
Well, look, it's good to hear, guys. Not that you're going through...
It's good to hear, guys.
Not that you're going through breakups, but just that, you're along for the ride and you can relate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so...
and to you 3, stay strong.
Stay strong.
I'll stay strong too. We'll do it together as a team. And Guy can just fucking sit here and bear it. And, and the other 97 listeners
Yeah,
too.
Let's not forget them. Also, if you're wondering why I'm a little bit blocked up today, I've had a cold. I was violently ill last night. The shits, vomits, the works.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because I'm a bit concerned about having to sit next to him.
Well, you should be. You should be concerned.
Yeah,
I
don't want to get sick before my holiday.
Yeah, look, you should be concerned. I think the only thing I could say about this is that. Yesterday, I could not move. I was lying in bed, sweating, coughing, vomiting. Couldn't when you're feeling so bad that you can't I can't watch something right now because I feel too sick, and I can't sleep because I feel too sick. So I literally cannot do anything but lie here. That's how I was feeling, and that's what I did. I just lay in my bed all night. But I do feel a lot better today. I still don't feel great. I still feel pretty fucking bad. But compared to yesterday I was at the point where I was like, if I get any worse from this point, I'm going to have to ask Harley to take me to hospital. because I feel feel really fucking bad right now, and I'm actually getting a little bit worried. That was my. I was like, so I'll just see, because isn't this how meningitis starts? So I was like, I'll just see, but then the next day today I feel a bit better, so there's no need for him to take me to the hospital. So I'll just say that if I do give it to you, it'll probably be this 2-day cycle.
Oh, great.
So you'll feel horrible, absolutely horrible for a day. You won't be able to do anything. If that's the day you're meant to be filming, sorry, you can't do it. Can't move, can't do anything, so you won't be doing that. But afterwards, you'll sort of recover, which is good, because you're going away to do some filming in Wellington, and I'm going away to do some wrestling in Wellington.
We mentioned in episode 100, I think, about how coincidentally we both happen to be going to Wellington on the same day, and it's absolute coincidence, but even more coincidence, we just found out we're on the same flight as well. So, but it's just complete, absolute random chance.
You can't separate us.
Basically.
No matter how hard you try.
So yeah, we're both going down there. I'm going down for Bernie Rao's film, which is called My Lover, My Lazy Boy, and Bernie Rao's a Hardy Hundy listener, although he's probably not listening at the moment because he's midway through.
He'd be fucking busy.
Principal photography.
He wouldn't be listening to anything right now.
No, he's on day 15 of principal photography.
Except the voices in his head.
Yeah. Day 15 today, I'm pretty sure, of principal photography, and I don't know how many he's got left, but apparently I've got 3 days, so he's got at least 4 more days from now. So yeah, that's called My Lover, My Lazy Boy, and you can find it on Facebook by searching My Lover, My Lazy Boy, I'm pretty sure.
It's good that you know the name of it now.
Yeah.
It's good that you've remedied that little.
That is good.
And also, I like the page, and I'm seeing the updates, and the photos look very cool. It looks like it's got a great look. So, if nothing else, they're visually on point.
Yeah. I've seen a cut of, you might recall I said that I had infiltrated a group of rich Ponsonby filmmakers, young rich Ponsonby filmmakers that were shooting a film with good gear and looked really good. This Logan Marshall. It turns out that he's actually a farmer, does not live in Ponsonby, is not a young rich Ponsonby person at all. So that's just me making assumptions. But anyway, I've actually seen a cut of.
He might be a rich farmer, though.
We might be a rich farmer.
Some farmers are quite rich.
I think he said he wasn't rich.
Right. You know who says that they're not rich, though?
Rich people.
You know it, right?
Yeah.
You fucking know it.
Well, they don't get rich by not being cunning like that.
And you don't get rich by throwing it around in other people's faces.
Yeah, everyone starts asking you for shit.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I've seen a cut of his film, which is looking awesome. It's called Uber. It's about an Uber driver. I'm pretty sure that I've changed the name.
I'm pretty sure they've started, like, he was listening to the podcast and he's plagiarized the Uber files.
Yeah. He is a Hardy Hundy listener. Just for the record, you might be onto something here. And then he cast me in it because he wanted to, because he felt bad. He wanted to give us something out of it too.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I'll ask him and let you know.
I'll look forward to catching that.
It does look good though. Anyway, was my what I was going to say. He's doing 2 versions of it though. There's one for a competition, and that's got to be shorter. So that's the one I've seen. And then, but he's got a bigger one coming, which apparently, and I'll have a bigger part in that because I've only got like a couple of lines in this short version.
Yeah,
but it looks good anyway. And he's actually just released a little teaser. So I'm going to share that on the Guy and Harley Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. Go there, hit like, keep caught up.
The Uber files, right? Might as well just open one of these up again, just quickly.
Oh. Early in the show,
early?
Yeah, fucking.
It's 18 minutes in.
Yeah. Straight into the Uber files.
Is that I had an incident with... I was taking a group of girls out into town. And when I say a group of girls, I mean girls in their probably mid-30s.
So women.
Yeah, women.
Women, yeah.
And anyway, one of them was like blatantly hitting on me the whole time.
Oh.
And was like, oh, do you ever take any of your customers home?
I literally take them all home.
I was like...
That's literally my job.
I guess the implication being... to bed.
Yeah, I got that.
And all this stuff. And anyway, she was very touchy, right? She was very touchy, and she was touching me up and like, do they do this? Do they do this? Like touching me and stuff. And I was like, well,
wait, just hang on, just for the listeners here, just paint a picture. Was she hot?
Yeah, she was. She was a good-looking lady. But I guess
frantically tossing off your handbrake and looking at you.
But I guess my whole point of it was like, and we all just laughed it off, We're like, yeah, all right, see you later. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for groping my penis.
But switch those roles. The Uber driver reaches his hand across, rubs the lady's face, and rubs his hand down her shoulder. Fucking full-blown sexual harassment. Full-on sexual harassment. Now, the rules are different, man. The rules are different. Girls can just do whatever they want, and it's all just a laugh.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I will point out one rather major difference between you and a woman, and the roles being reversed and so on, is that when a woman touches up a man inappropriately, that might be invasive for the man and by certainly no means pleasant or it's something that I'm encouraging or anything like that. But the man doesn't feel generally like he's in any physical danger
because he can't be
of being raped.
Overpowered.
Well, he won't. It's not that he cannot be overpowered by a woman, but it's that he probably thinks he can take her. And so he doesn't feel like he's in any danger. Whereas if a man is feeling up a woman, there's the added element of the man has a physical advantage over her, and she is, there's might be nothing stopping him from doing more. So that's the difference I'd line up there.
That's a very good point, Harley.
Thanks, I'm full of them.
That's a very good point. And I think that's true. But I also think that it's true that there is a contingent of people who are like, yeah, we just got to stop it with these creepy guys, these creepy, gropey guys just doing all this creepy, gropey stuff.
This Uber driver,
and it's
one
like,
Uber driver in particular.
And it's like, yes, but but like you talk about it, it's phrased and it just never happens the other way. And yet that is just not true.
Well, it does happen all the time, but it's just that whole thing of I really sincerely feel like as a man, for me, being groped by a woman is less traumatic than a woman being groped by a man. And it's probably to do with that whole physicality fear thing, where it's like, for me, it's like, it's like, haha, you wish, whereas maybe it's a bit more intimidating, the reverse, so it's more of a trauma, sorry. Yeah. That would be my guess. But yes, you're absolutely right. There is some sexism out there against us men, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Now, this is risky business. This is such a hot topic.
Here we go.
This is such a hot topic. Now, I'm just trying to grab my note here. But basically, there was this woman on Facebook who posted a status.
Yep.
Why is it that all of my posts about shitty men bring all the shitty men to my posts? Trying to prove that they're not shitty men by being even more shitty.
This is cool. I like that update. I like that as a Facebook post.
Do you? I was like, oh, for fuck. I was like, come on, man. That right there is sexist. You are making me feel bad just for being a man. I didn't do anything, and all these shitty men generalizations. Now, I know she's talking about guys that are shitty, not me, but it's still a generalization.
It should have been shitty people.
That's what I said to her, but that's not what I said first. Here's what I said first.
Also, this person, right, there's not one of your friends.
Well, she's on my Facebook friends list, but I don't know her in real life. She's American or something like that.
This is what you've got time to do because you've neglected all your other duties, is to get into Facebook
fights. No. This was like the only one I've been in lately.
Okay.
So anyway, I just copied and pasted it back at her, right? But I changed it to shitty women. So why?
I see what you did there.
Why is it all my posts about shitty women bring all the shitty women to my posts, trying to prove they're not shitty women by being even more shitty?
I like what you did there.
Yeah, well,
you turned it back round on her.
That's all I did.
You turned it back round.
All I wanted to do was just show her how that actually looked from the other perspective,
Yeah.
you know, like if you turn it around, right?
Yeah.
And then I got all this drama.
Right.
Oh mate, it was fucking pages of it. But of like you're hijacking the status.
You're hijacking the status.
Yeah. And then I was like, come on, guys. These are generalizations. This is still a generalization you're using. When you make a post about shitty men, it is a sexist thing.
Yeah.
And it's an ist of some description. And to further my point, I copied and pasted again. And this time I said, why is it that all my posts about shitty black people bring all the shitty black people to my posts?
Oh, boy.
Trying to prove they're not shitty black people by being even more shitty. You know, and it's like, how can you try and deny that is an ist statement that, it was sexist and racist and all of that stuff? You just can't deny it. But there was pages of people trying to deny it. But I won. None of them had any really good retorts to me. Like, none of them really could have anything. And they started posting memes and all that shit, you know, silly memes as if that's going to hurt my feelings or something.
Interesting. I missed all that. Don't know why I didn't see any of that.
Right. Oh, well, it was not on my page. It was on her page, and she's deleted me since.
Oh, right.
So yeah, that's that. Now I've got a little bit of fan feedback here from Eric. Eric, I won't say his last name. He's a beer lover, presumably.
Okay.
He says, I came across your Not Wanking podcast, and I got to tell you how amazingly hot you are. I love the beard. The thinning hairline. I know it, brackets. I know it bothers a lot of people, but I find it totally sexy. Love your ink and your hot furry body, and those killer blue eyes are the icing on the cake. Cheers from the States. So that's very lovely, Eric. Thank you very much. There's a very flattering
There's
message.
nothing
too seedy in there.
but nothing like to bring you back up, like after
Breakup.
a breakup. And what was that? The hairline line again?
I love the beard, the thinning hairline.
The thinning hairline. I know it bothers a lot of people, but I find it totally sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm feeling good about myself. And I can always rely on the beer-loving community to make me feel good about myself. I'll tell you that. And I do regularly get these types of messages. And I'm not discouraging it. It's fine. I like it. Keep it up. Don't increase it, though. Okay? It's a good amount right now. So I had something else to say. Oh, yeah, so we sold our first poster to Tony Bove, who is also, I believe, a beer lover, I'm guessing, because he's buying the poster. And he bought the DVD and the poster that we used on the day. I got it printed out like A4 size-ish, a little bit bigger. And we used it to help promote our DVD signing the other day. It's the nude photo of Guy and I, looking amazing. And it was the only one I had. It's the only copy. It was literally the one from that day, and we signed it and sent that away. So I'm going to have those for sale soon. I've actually already put my business cards for sale up on the Facebook shop, and I'll bring those in as well very soon. So anyway, we sold a DVD to him, we sold a poster to him, but we also sold a DVD to the masturbating Trump supporter.
All right.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So thanks to both of those guys.
You may support the wrong team and masturbate far too much, but you have good taste in film, sir.
He does.
So thank you very much for your support.
Yeah. So if anybody wants a DVD, you can get one, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. And it's on Amazon, and it's on TMC and AT&T and Showtime and iTunes and Amazon Video and Amazon, the place where you can actually buy a physical DVD, and Mighty Ape and everywhere, really. So just go look it up, and you can see I Survived a Zombie Holocaust as well.
And, give the penis a little rest, eh? It's going to be there. Yeah, it's still going to be there. It'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there later on. You don't feel like you have to get through it all right now. Just come back to it later. Save it up for a little while. It'll feel like more of a treat.
It does feel better when you save it.
So that's the thing.
Let's be honest.
You go in hell for leather, hammer and tongs,
Well, I think he said it's in his past now. It's something he's cutting down on.
Oh, that's good, because I think, you're going to have more time for your day-to-day activities, important stuff like employment and cooking meals and maybe exercise, all of these things.
He might be doing all of those things. You can still squeeze in 6 wanks in the morning, 6 wanks in the evening.
No, you're too tired for exercise. Too tired for exercise if you're 12. At least in my experience. That was just I just thought I'd throw that in.
Sure, you go on that.
Just come back to it later.
Yeah.
It's always going to be there. That's the great thing.
So Gary King is an old friend of ours.
Gazza?
And he shared the trailer to Older with this status, which I thought was pretty good. So Older is our new movie. It's our second feature film. It's a drama romance.
Yep.
There's a trailer on YouTube. Search Older the movie or Older Pigville and you'll find it. And so
I've been staying up 24 hours a night trying to fucking finish the next cut.
24 hours a night. It's a fucking long night. And so Gary...
because it becomes day and then to another night.
Got it. Makes sense. And you don't open the curtains in between either. So
never open the curtains. Never want to know what's going on out. Never know what happiness and joy might be going on outside.
The eternal night.
Best to keep it, yeah.
So it's a drama romance anyway, Older. So here's what Gary says as he shared our trailer. From the makers of WCRP and Disgusting Hairy Man comes this sappy, emotional, coming-of-age drama starring actor-director-producer Guy Pigden as actor-director-producer Alex and Jemima out of Shortland Street as Jenny, not out of Forrest Gump. Pigville Productions presents Older, the trailer.
Bloody funny stuff, Gary.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And the thing is, I didn't notice it for a long time, so he probably just thought I'd taken offense. But actually, when I saw it, I laughed.
Good stuff.
It was good stuff, yeah. So I'm going to share that trailer on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. So go and find it.
What else? What else been going on?
Well, I did the stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
The thing is that at the time when we spoke about stand-up comedy, episode 100, Angie had just broken up with me a couple of days, but I hadn't gone public or told anybody about it. And so what I forgot to mention is that my stand-up comedy in the semi-finals for the 2017 Raw Comedy Quest was actually the day after she dumped me.
So could you be any less funny than that day?
Basically, it's like literally the day after you get dumped by your girlfriend, you then need to jump on stage and make 300 people laugh and make it seem like you're having a good time and you want to be there and and you're full of energy and all that stuff. And it's like, mate, it's a chore. I just want to lie down with the duvet over my face.
I want half duvet on the face. That's all I want right now.
Yeah. So yeah, and then as an interesting note though, I'd like to point out that the performance before that, which was my qualifying, I guess, performance, was, as I mentioned, the best performance I'd ever done. I felt like it was one of the best performances of my life over poetry or comedy, potentially like the best stage presence I've had kind of thing. I was like, man, it was awesome. And
no sarcastic clicking?
No, none of that. But do you know what's funny? It was not long after she left to go to America, because we were doing long distance for a while. It was not long after she left for America, right? But at the time, my mindset was, I'm moving to Hollywood. I'm traveling to the other side of the world. So I was all pumped up, and I was just like in the zone. And so my best performance ever was then, and then the next one was way shitter. But yeah, I guess it's just the point is that it's really important to have a good mindset.
It's fair enough.
Oh, I'm saying it's all in your mind, Nothing's physically changed. I'm the same person. It's my settings, my future just changed a lot.
Circumstances.
My circumcisions.
So, well, I mean, look, we don't have anything like too bad to be depressed about right now, apart from that ending of a 5-year relationship that you thought was gonna may last until you die.
When I first,
And
the night that
your
I
entire
met,
plans to go to Hollywood and
well, that's the thing. A relationship is not an island, you know, and it has these all these ripples rippling out into the rest of your life. So for example, you know, my work life. Now, I like my job, but a few months ago, I'm moving to Hollywood at the end of the year, right? So this job, like, you know, I don't have to really worry about trying to advance in the company or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, well, I'm not going to Hollywood soon, so now I've got to start thinking about what I want to do with my job here. You know, do I need to start moving up the ladder or whatever, you know, because I've been doing this job for fucking ages, you know? Stuff like that. It affects other bits of your life.
Yep. Well, also, there's a slightly cavalier attitude with the knowledge that you're going away somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
And so you can just be like, well, look, I'm just going away, so fuck it.
Well, basically, and it felt good.
And exactly, and you can feel good because you're like, oh, I'm not going to be stuck here, so see ya,
I won't be doing
whatever.
the same shit, yeah.
And then suddenly, everything closes in on you, and you look around and you go, actually,
There's all this shit.
I'm here, and nothing's changing, and I'm staying here.
Yeah.
There is no escape in 2 or 4 months.
No.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
So what the hell are we going to do?
Exactly.
But we can't be too depressed because we did talk about this a little bit on the last podcast, but we could be tied up with a web series pretty much until the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if it gets, you know, the next tick.
That's
basically.
right.
And so we are in the same place that we were in the last episode when we spoke about it. Nothing has changed except for Guy has now done the majority of the writing that needs to be done.
Except for Guy Pigden has killed himself to write down this the synopsis and proposal and episode outlines and all that sort of thing. And I won't just I better just quickly jump in before Emmy throws a fit. Emmy the vegan also helped me co-write it.
Right.
So I don't want to take anything away from her contributions. But that's what I've been since the last podcast. That is what I've been working on. That and the next cut of Older, sort of non-stop in tandem, trying to get this next cut done before we really ramp up on this web series, if we ramp up on it. And I guess the jury is out on that, but we will be submitting our proposal possibly tonight.
Sweet. Whoa, tonight.
Oh, tomorrow.
Oh, I need some time to read over that, the final version, give you my extensive notes.
Yeah, well, okay, not tonight then. But in the very near future, this proposal is done. It's pretty much all done. It's pretty much all ready to go. And we will be sending that away and hopefully moving on to true pre-production.
Yeah.
And
potential spanner in the works there is that I got update for the Butt Chronicles.
Yep.
I got a date for my operation, which is the 16th of June, which is soonish. It's a few weeks from now. And so hopefully the recovery time doesn't fuck too much with my filming time.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
I think we'll be okay too, but as long as everything sort of goes to plan.
Well, the thing about the butt is all you're going to do is make it take longer to heal if you do anything too dramatic. So it's not like you won't be like, oh, I can't move my butt.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, fuck, it's taking ages to heal because I keep reopening this wound because...
Right. So I will be... So Guy, what Guy's saying is that, Harley, I will be expecting you to rip open your butt wound consistently because
day after day.
In the name of Pigville.
In the name of Pigville.
In the name of Pigville.
Yeah.
And I won't be able to argue with that because he'll be like, what's in the name of Pigville? And I'll be like, well, I guess you're right.
Well, also, like, you know, your character... as it stands is not often seen. So, you know, he's not doing too much.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, leaping over fences and doing backflips and stuff like that.
Right.
So
both of which I'm capable of, if you care to cast me. Backflips on a tramp, obviously. Haven't done one for about 10 years, but I reckon I still got it.
Backflips on a trap. It's a pretty cool skill to have. It's pretty funny to list that.
Backflips on a tramp.
Backflips on a tramp.
Yeah, I'll put it on my acting portfolio.
But you've had time to look at the outline.
Yeah.
As I was writing it, as is often the case, I was pretty depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And really battling. But then when I sort of went back through it and looked at it, I was like, oh no, actually I think this is pretty good and it's going to work. It could be really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a slight recap, hopefully it looks like we're going to get funding for this found footage horror.
I don't know if you said all that. Did we say that?
Yeah.
All right,
you don't remember
okay.
that. You said that you wanted to say the genre and you wanted to say it was a found footage horror.
Oh, I thought we just said horror. Now you've thrown in found footage.
No, I'm sure you said found footage.
Well, someone said it now, that's for sure.
No. I'm pretty sure if you go back to 101, you said found footage horror.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I was drunk and crying for most of that podcast.
Yeah.
But I didn't give a shit about what you were talking about. But
well, there's a change.
No, normally I care a lot.
So yeah, but that could be very much in the works. We might have to start doing a few location trips, some drives out. So we'll hopefully have some more updates about that in the next couple of episodes. What else? I mean, there's probably a bunch of feedback. We should probably talk about some feedback or something, shouldn't we?
Forget what feedback? Do you have some feedback?
No, from episode 101.
Well, I told you that 3 people said that they're going through breakups too. That was some of the feedback. Also, Scott said that when you were whining for, a few people. So Scott said when you were whining that he was thinking like, stop bitching when you were whining about the feature film.
Oh, fuck off, you motherfucker. Let me just tell you something, you fucking little shithead. Number one, okay, you haven't made a feature film and you haven't done all the fucking things.
So he's saying stop whining.
Yeah, stop whining. Tell you what, you'll be fucking whining when you do it. You'll be fucking whining your ass off. You'll be like, holy shit, all these things. This was the dream. I was going to be loving it. It was going to be awesome. Hold on. 90% of the jobs in a film are fucking tedious and boring and time consuming, and I have no life and I fucking can't do shit and I spend all my money on this and I got nothing. That's what you'll be like. But until you get there, you go, oh, Guy, he's just whining again. He's just, what, boo fucking who? What everyone wishes is that they were making a film with all the resources of a feature film.
Shut up, because
that's
if
what
you
they
had
wish.
if you had to choose between being where you are now or not being where you are now, but not having had to have done all that work. So I'm saying, like, if you could turn back time and not do Zombie Holocaust, obviously you'd still do it.
Honestly, though, where I was getting to in my point on that last episode, before we got derailed, by you telling me to shut up.
Yeah, all right.
Was actually, at times, I'm like, I don't know if it was. And that is my point. Is like, I actually don't know about all that stuff that I gave up in that 5-year period and what I'm doing now.
What would you say is the single, like, biggest sacrifice involved with making that film? What's the single sort of biggest thing for you that was a problem? That you lost, that you didn't get to do?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because there was so many. There was so many. I mean, time was a big one.
Yeah,
probably time was the biggest one, in the sense of like time just to not even like. You know, like, what do you do when you, like, on a day-to-day, like, for me, how many fun things can you fit in a day? Because a lot of the time I sort of make a deal with myself to try and do one, and then I'd never do that.
Do one fun thing?
Yeah, one fun thing, but I never really get to that fun thing because I've got the responsibilities of the film to think of first. So I think, you know... There was stuff like that, and I think, you know, like, I don't think it's very healthy to be, like, doing a night shift, sleeping for 2 hours, doing sound design till 5, sleeping for another 2 hours and doing a night shift. Like, I don't think that's very good for anyone's health. And I was doing that for months. But I guess it was just those time sacrifices, and then what that, and it's like, relationships, obviously, what in that time, where do you have time for a relationship? You don't.
Well, you did go through a few girlfriends throughout that process.
Keep going through girlfriends, left and right. And, and that's an issue because, that's the thing. And then you sit back because obviously there's a million great things that have happened with a zombie film and incredible sense of pride in a lot of these things. But, yeah, when you're plodding through whatever those tedious bits are, you're kind of like, well, was it really worth it? Or if I just had great laughs with my friends and done cool stuff and traveled to exotic locations and sort of done all these adventures that I'd have time to do, would that have actually been as fulfilling and as fun?
Well, I reckon it wouldn't have been. well, it would have been more fun, obviously.
It would have been more fun,
and you would have learnt things that you did not learn as a result of not experiencing these things. But you learnt so much stuff that is being used for older. So all those horrible things that you had to do, as you did them, you were getting those life experiences and learning what not to do next time.
Yeah.
Which did make older a way smoother shoot and way smoother everything so far.
Yeah. But still has kind of...
But it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't done the zombie film as well.
Yeah. But, I guess when you take on anything that takes 5 years and a lot of that stuff is just really hard as opposed to, like, super fun, there's, like, little pockets of things that are super fun within that, you're like, is it worth it? Fuck, sometimes I don't know. And so I guess that's just sometimes the way I feel when I'm feeling a bit down about the whole thing. But anyway, fucking Scott... Fucking doing my head in. Oh, stop whining. Fuck you, do 5 years of this bullshit. Fuck's sake.
I'm pretty sure somebody else, I got some other feedback. I don't actually know who it was, but somebody else said along the same lines.
Well, also, I should say too.
But I don't want to say the wrong name in case it wasn't, and they get drilled you just blew up Scott.
Well, also, I will also say this. If I was them listening to me, I'd think the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, man, I've been working 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, 3 years to do what you did. And you are now complaining about it? Fuck you, I give my right arm to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably where Scott was coming from.
But the thing is, when you actually do it, you go, oh, hang on a second. Because there's the thing, you go, like, what would you give to be a filmmaker? And you look up and you go, I would give everything. I would give absolutely everything. I'd sacrifice everything. It's my one passion, my one pursuit. This is what I want to do. This is my destiny. And then they go, okay, you get your wish. And then you go, oh, wait, actually, that's actually really a lot.
So be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. And
you just might get it.
And you go, oh, actually sacrificing everything and losing everything else to do this one thing. And then that is actually, okay, that's actually quite big and actually quite profoundly affecting on your entire life, not just your film life. And maybe you didn't really know what you were getting into. So I just think it's just a matter of perspective, is that, and also, I should definitely say that my experience making that film is not everyone's experience making their first film. I'm sure there's been a million people that have had much better experiences, and there's probably been some people that have had much worse experiences.
Well, there's definitely people who have had much worse experiences.
Well, they just don't get finished.
Exactly, films that never came out, or did come out and didn't do as well as our film. Like is not internationally available and is not currently on iTunes and Amazon and all those other places I just said before. JB Hi-Fi, The Warehouse, and Real Groovy Auckland.
So yeah, I could have imagined a slightly smoother ride. I probably wouldn't complain about it as much. But anyway, moving on.
Jeremy Howson is a long-time listener.
Jizza.
And he is sending to us some badges. Now, I've seen a picture of them, and they look cool. They are Pigville badges. It's essentially the Pigville logo. He's sending us a full box of them, and
cool.
for merchandising. So we
Nice.
I'm going to put them on the Facebook store. Now, I haven't really decided what a Pigville badge is worth. The thing is that makes it difficult is, every badge needs to be posted, assuming I'm selling them online, which I probably am. Every badge needs to be posted. So it's like, okay, so how do you make it worth my time to go down to the post office if you're selling a badge for $2, $2 plus P&P, so say it was whatever, $7 delivered to your door, and, that's very little money. Like, no, I don't give a shit. Like, that's not worth the effort of going to the post office if I have to do it, kind of once a week to sell one badge a week, that'd be fucking annoying. So it's like, what do you sell a badge for, but
to
make
not
it
price
still
it out of the market?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't price it out and still make it worth my time. I mean, these things are extremely limited edition. There's 99 of them.
Yeah,
because Jeremy wanted one.
Fair enough. Well, there might be. So there's going to be 97 of them because you and I
have one. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm going to put one on my backpack.
Yeah.
Because that's the cool place for them.
I'll probably put one on my jacket.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Well. So there you go. There's 97 left now. Jeremy has, as far as I'm aware, he's bought all of our products, and he really wants a poster. I've been meaning to get him one, but I'm just fucking
lazy.
Slacker. But so he...
Jeremy, you've heard about his whole half blanket thing, haven't you?
Yeah.
You just give him some time.
Just give me some time, I'm working on this shit. So the point was Jeremy is going to be the one buying all 97.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. But no, if you guys do want a badge, they are on the way here now. I'm going to put them on the Facebook store, and I'm thinking, how much can you really sell a badge for? $5 plus P&P? I mean, that's still not really worth my time going to the post office, but maybe if I can sell a few at a time or something.
Yeah, well, that's...
Or maybe I could make it like an add-on. So you buy the DVD, and you can add on a badge for $5 with no extra postage.
Yep.
$5 badge, and it goes in the same package. That's a good idea, Harley.
That's a pretty good idea.
It's a good idea, Harles. Maybe that's how I'll do it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, thank you very much, Jeremy. Really appreciate that. That's fucking awesome, dude.
I was finally in the Arcsville Homicides, Lewis Roscoe's upcoming. He's made a web series, and you can see the first couple of episodes on YouTube if you search the Arcsville Homicides, and I'll share the first one on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. Now, I made it into he's done a sort of a full-length pilot. I think it's a 20-odd minute pilot.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's very good. I watched it. I read it. Did I watch it as well? No, I did. I watched it, and so I watched it, and it's very good. It's very funny. Sorry, not funny. Very compelling. And it's sort of a drama, horror, thriller thing set in small town America, and it's really ambitious, and it's very cool, and it's all animated. And I made it in. I've got like 3 or 4 lines and a character name, so that's pretty cool. And I watched it, and I did not cringe about my accent. I was actually really happy with it.
Well,
because I had to do an American accent, obviously.
My lines are still pending on that one.
No, you're out.
Oh, I'm out.
No, you're done. You're fucking done, mate. It's signed. I think the audio might be signed off now. I'm not sure.
All right.
But I think he's got everyone he needed for that, and I think I got your lines.
Oh, sweet.
So I am now, because I think originally I just got some miscellaneous lines. I'm pretty sure. Just a few different characters, kind of thing. Just
real wise ass.
Yeah, I did that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you actually had a character, and I had some miscellaneous lines.
Yeah.
And now I took your character and somebody
my
else.
lines.
No. Somebody else did the miscellaneous line. But I took your lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am the character that you were meant to be.
What the?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was... so if Lewis changes his mind, he can just take the audio from this podcast and just put it in. We really should have just done that all the times, because Lewis has been needing these lines from me, from us for a very long time.
Yeah.
We really let the team down on that one.
He doesn't really listen to the podcast. So
I don't think he's listening.
No point in apologising on the podcast to him.
True.
do apologise.
Anyway, now the other day I entered a slam poetry competition, Poetry Adventures, new segment, Poetry Adventures.
Yeah.
And Dominic Hoey was headlining. Now, Dominic Hoey, as the long-time listeners know, is the local poet, filmmaker, writer who I've been stalking for a couple of years. I click like on everything he posts on Facebook.
He doesn't like you.
He doesn't really respond as much online as I'd like, but I'm working on it. And he was headlining this slam poetry competition, so it was like, okay, so he was sort of the main event in between the competition, or opening the show kind of thing. And so I was like, well, this is perfect. This is my chance to get up and get 6 minutes in front of him, as well as talk to him, and as well as watch his show and see what he does and how he does it. And I came third in that slam poetry competition, which is not bad. There was only 6 contestants. But it's worth noting that only the top 3 get to do a second poem. So initially there was 6 poets. The top 3 get to do a second poem.
And you came last of those 3.
I came last of those 3. And the top 2, my best friend, ladies and gentlemen, in the top 2, I'm already fucking down, bro. I'm putting a positive spin on it. I came third in the competition. You mean you came fourth last? And so, anyway, only the top 2 made it through to the finals.
Right.
So I missed out by 1, is what I'm saying. But anyway, Dominic Hoey was there. I did get to perform in front of him. It did go very well. Now, I did not want to perform. It's worth noting. Again, I was in the everything's a chore. I just want my blanket sort of mindset. But I signed up anyway because I was like, well, I just need to stay active. Yeah. I think it's really important to keep going to the gym. So I've been gymming a lot, and I've been saying yes to performance stuff.
You have been going to the gym a lot. You've been going to the gym. I mean, this is a funny coincidence, isn't it? Anytime someone gets single, they suddenly get into way better shape.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you about that. I am in way better shape, but I will have you know that as soon as Angie left, I started gymming a lot. And it was nothing to do with her not being around. Well, I mean, it was in one sense, but it wasn't because she wasn't around. It was because I suddenly had a lot more time on my hands, and at the same time as I had all this spare time, I moved into this flat, which is like 50 meters from my gym.
There's no excuse.
It's literally 50 meters from my gym. That's why I can go and do 20-minute workouts, because I'm like, I'll just go along, do some sets of some shit, and fuck off, and then I have a shower. I haven't even, I get up, I don't have a shower, I put on my gym gear, go and do a quick workout, and then come back and have a shower. It's like having a gym in your backyard. It's fucking convenient.
It's almost like having a gym in your house.
Yeah, it's pretty excellent. It's really excellent. And so anyway, A, it suddenly became incredibly easy. There was no excuse not to. B, I had a lot more time. And C, I thought I was moving to Hollywood. And you
can't be a fat piece of shit in Hollywood.
You can't be what's known as a tween, if that TV show is to be believed. You've definitely seen the show, but I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, a tween, which is where you're in between being the schlubby friend and the leading man.
Right.
So you're not fat enough to be the schlubby friend, but you're not skinny enough to be the hot guy.
Yeah.
So you're a tween. I can't remember the name of that show, but anyway. So that's why. It's actually nothing to do with being single. I've only been single for like 2 weeks or something like that, but I've been working out consistently since February, and I'm fucking jacked. And as testament to that, this is a big moment for me. At the poetry competition, as I left, Dominic Hoey squeezed my arm and said that he had never realised how muscly I was before.
And there has never been a prouder moment in your life.
It was a big moment for me. It's receiving praise from somebody you admire, It's,
not about your poems, which you're there for.
Well, he said good poems too, but you would, wouldn't you? You're going to say that to literally all 6 contestants,
True.
aren't you? You're the starring act. All 6 contestants are going to, you're going to say something nice to all of them, basically. So I didn't take too much out of that. But I tell you what was funny was that I didn't really want to perform, right? I was really just doing it because it was such an opportunity to get in front of him and stay active and blah blah blah.
Get in front of your best mate,
my idol that I chase around. And I bought his book, by the way. It's arriving soon. He's having a book launch party, which I will be attending.
Oh boy!
And so I've pre-ordered his book, a couple of months before it's publicly available. So anyway, I did not feel like performing though, and so I walked in the door, right? And I was just hoping for a large anonymous crowd, and I could just do my fucking poems. I did my poem about Angie and another one, and that's what I was hoping for. I walk in the door. What's the first thing I fucking see? The fucking clicker.
Old Clicky McGee.
The fucking clicker. The only person I don't want to see. And there's literally nobody else there. I'm the first person to arrive.
The middle-aged white lady who was actually 20 years old.
Yeah. And so I did not realize there was going to be nobody around, but there was literally nobody there except for like her and me and like the MC kind of thing. I was the first, and it turned out she was working there. She was working on the door, you know.
Did you ever confront her about that?
No, I didn't ever confront her about the clicking incident. You guys will have to go back and listen to previous episodes if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
But there was a person that heckled me at a poetry competition, and then I didn't do poetry for another 6 months. She bullied me. She bullied me at a poetry competition and a poetry performance, and really put me off. And then I gave up on my poetry dreams for like 6 months
over this bullying
from this girl. And then I go into my next competition. And I walk in the fucking door, there's the fucking clicker.
Your worst fears.
It was in the same venue that she clicked at me last time as well.
The only fucking venue.
There's 2 venues. If you know, competitions are usually in a different place to where I normally attend. Fucking school yourself, mate, on the poetry scene in Auckland, okay? Frustrating me. So, yes, anyway, that's the end of my poetry story.
But you didn't click.
No. In fact, she said nice poems tonight at the end of it, and I was like, shut up, you cunt.
You're like, shut up, you bully.
Yeah, I was like, shut up, you nearly ruined my poetry career with your clicking, your inappropriate clicking. But I did not say shut up, you cunt. I said thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I do it. Now, last time I mentioned on the show that I had an audition in the morning. So I had this audition. Normally I'm like, fuck yeah, audition, and it was going to be like $6,000 if I got the role, and obviously I didn't get the role, and it was a British accent one, you might recall.
Yep.
Yeah.
British improv.
British improv, that's right. It was no dialogue. Do it with a UK accent. I was like, oh fuck. And so I had that audition. It was a chore. I wasn't in any way excited. In fact, I was like, fuck, I really don't even want to do this. Like, I literally do not want to go. So I just went in. I did my bit. I went full Frodo. I went full Frodo from our gay Lord of the Rings parody, Calling of the Ring, which is on YouTube.
Never go full Frodo.
Yeah, and I was like, I even used a word that was in our gay parody. So it was like we were looking out over a view, and they were like, "Oh, just make up some shit about like the view and all that stuff." But remember, UK accent. And so I was like, "Oh, it's breathtaking!" Like full fucking Frodo. And then they're like, "Okay, do another take." And then they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna concentrate on my partner, on the girl that I was acting across from." And they didn't get me to do It's Breathtaking again.
Don't say anymore.
Yeah, basically.
We're just gonna look.
They're like, "Can we go again?" No, I'm not kidding. They were like, "Can we go again?" But don't say anything.
But please, for the love of God, don't say anything this time.
And so
if we could ask one thing, if we could give one note, please do not talk in this second take.
Yeah, well, I mean, that audition did not feel like it was worth attending for anybody involved, me or them.
Yeah.
And I didn't even ask when I might hear something. I was just like, sweet, see you later, and left.
Do you ask? I never ask.
Yeah, I normally ask, if it's not intrusive, I don't be a pain in the butt about it, but I do like to ask, like, so do you know when we might hear
right,
sort of like a shortlist thing? So not like a yes or no, but do you know when they might shortlist it? Because basically it's that thing where it's like you've got an audition pending, so you're like, until you hear no, you're like, oh, maybe it's yes, whereas if you go, oh, when do you reckon they're likely to make a decision, and they normally go, oh, well, actually it'll be by Friday. And then you're armed with that, and so you go, if you don't hear anything by Friday, you can kind of hope that maybe you'll get something on Monday, maybe even Tuesday, but beyond that you really can't hope to hear anything. And it's good, it's better for the mental health. I find.
Well, we've talked a lot about your issues today.
Yep. I'm not finished, but yeah.
So I think I better jump in with something before the podcast will be over.
Yep.
But it was my birthday the other day.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I didn't get you any gifts.
I was gonna ask you what you got me, but you just jumped in there.
Right. Well, to be fair, you didn't get me anything on my birthday last month.
That's right. I did not.
So it's all swings and roundabouts, my friend.
Well, it is.
If you got me a gift one year, obviously I'd get you a gift as well,
Oh, yeah, but, I still remember very vividly.
But see, I remember it too. Just I remember you being the bad guy.
Yeah, of course. But there's literally evidence of, so we were going, hey, we actually got presents for each other.
For a while, yeah.
For a while there. And then I got presents for everyone else, and then no one got a present for me. And I was like, you motherfuckers. And it was just like, yeah, what do you want, bro? We're poor. And I was like, yeah, but we're doing the presents thing now. There's the whole thing.
It's your round, motherfucker.
You guys got the presents, and now I don't get the present because my birthday is last.
Yeah.
And so that's when the presents thing pretty much ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was my birthday, and it was a pretty chilled out affair. But of course, again, the blight of filmmaking hanging heavy in the air. I went down to Dunedin, actually not so much for my birthday, but primarily to see Jack, who I am an uncle to. It's my sister's baby, young Jack, and that was very cool to see him. He's a big, giant baby. Apparently in the 90 either 94th or 91 or 96th percentile in terms of the size for the age he is. Mm-hmm. So he's a giant.
I have no idea what percentile means.
Giant baby.
I really understand that, but
giant baby for his age.
All right, so he's a big fatty.
But it seemed like pretty in proportion.
So he's just got gigantism.
Yeah.
Giant hands.
He could be a giant. But
how tall? Because Abby's not particularly tall. What about
Dwight's quite tall. So yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
That's the thing is,
your dad's quite tall, right?
No, he's not really.
Is he taller than you?
No. Huh. So you can't really tell at this stage whether if it's a big baby doesn't mean it'll grow up to be a big human being. So it's too early to tell. But I very much enjoyed seeing him. So shout out to my sister. Abby, and shout out to Jack, even though he is too young to understand. But I just basically got some grown up shoes, big boy shoes.
Yeah,
at 30,
sort of like leather shoes instead of
and sneakers,
teenage sneakers.
Yeah,
teenage high top sneakers.
Yeah, which I probably still need to get. Because the other shoes are fine, they're good, I like them, but it's hard being an adult. It's hard. When do you stop wearing hoodies?
I'm wearing a hoodie right now.
Me too. I like hoodies, but when do you stop wearing them? Because when you see an old guy,
we're too old to stop wearing them.
But when you see an old guy wearing a hoodie, like they had Al Pacino wearing a hoodie in the classic Jack and Jill movie,
right?
And he was like dressed in just like sweats and sneakers and stuff, and it looked fucking insane.
Right.
And it was like, he can't wear those clothes. So there'll be a time, but it's probably not now for us.
By the time that time comes around, you don't give a shit anymore. You're like, I'm going to wear something warm and comfortable.
I guess so. I guess that's true.
I'm pretty much there now.
Well, yeah. What with your dad's dad?
My dad fash?
Your sneakers, your gym sneakers with jeans, combo, that you often rock when you need to walk somewhere.
Yeah. If I'm walking somewhere,
you get those.
Got to wear the walking shoes.
Gotta get those.
And if you're wearing jeans, well, that's fine. You just have to wear the sneakers and jeans. Sneens.
So, but I just wanted to say, if anyone wants to contribute to my birthday, because I don't think we mentioned this. Or maybe we did.
Here we go. You're right, trying to ride my wave.
Yeah, if anyone was
you got to do it before the birthday, mate, or it doesn't work.
It's only a couple of days after.
You should have done it last episode.
It's only a couple of days after.
You're a failure.
It's only a couple of days after. It's literally only a couple of days, and we can still do this. Guys.
Okay. So, right, get them
not too late,
excited,
guys.
Yeah.
If you want to help contribute, what are all the things that they got to do?
Oh, that's good. I thought you were just going to ask them for money or something.
Yeah. Send the money to the people.
All right. Okay. So if you would like to contribute to Guy's birthday, now what that means is, say for example, you gave us $10. That $10 would be spent most probably on beers on the next episode of the show. You know, that's a beer. You're buying Guy a beer for his birthday.
Yeah.
So you put $10 into the PayPal account, and we'll buy a couple of Hogardens next time and celebrate Guy's birthday with them.
Yeah.
And so you can do that by going to paypal.com, and all you need is my email address, harleyneville@hotmail.com. That's Neville, harleyneville@hotmail.com, and you can deposit whatever you want in there in the name of Guy's birthday. Failing that, you can buy our DVD, which is also still kind of good for us. So effectively, it's like you might be buying a DVD for yourself, but it's actually Guy's birthday present.
Yep.
Think about that. That's pretty cool, right? You're buying Guy's birthday present for yourself. So you can do that if you go to facebook.com/ISAZH. That's for I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, and you can buy a personalized signed DVD from us, and we ship worldwide. But if you can't find it there, just go facebook.com/Guy and Harley, and I'll share it there again as well. And Patreon. You can go to Patreon. We've got a new Patreon supporter as well, by the way.
Okay.
Sam from the Chris and Sam podcast.
Oh, yes, yep.
The man, Sam. Thank you very much for that. So we are now at $69 a month.
Whoa.
There's a better word, but that's a great number is what I'm trying to say.
It's a great number at a great position.
That too, yeah. So 69. So thanks very much to everybody that is contributing to that. And by the way, just remember, Patreon supporters, Guy says, fuck you.
No, I only said that to one.
No, well, last week you said something. I can't remember what it was now. You definitely said something derogatory about the Patreon supporters.
No,
and I was upset.
No,
I was upset on their behalf.
This is what you always do, is you twist. So I said something that wasn't that, and then Harley goes, so what he said is, fuck you to the Patreon supporters. That's what he said. Guy said that.
Well, go back and listen to it. But look, speaking of going back and listening, I listened to episode 18 the other day.
Just randomly?
Basically, it was absolutely random. It came up as my 2 years ago on Facebook.
Yep.
You know, I had obviously shared it 2 years ago, so that's interesting in itself. And so we were on episode 18 2 years ago. And so anyway, that was the episode after the premiere of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
Holy shit, we're going back away.
Premieres and Drunk Casting, I believe, was the name of the episode. Anyway, the thing I took away from this was that we are much better podcasters now, because it was I actually was not that impressed with it. Although I think as well, I just really hate the ones where we drink too much, because I yell too much and talk too much shit. But anyway, Jeremy Houston said that we should compile a compilation of poetry feedback from Guy, and there was actually a piece of poetry feedback in that episode, in that very episode, because I had just come last in a slam poetry competition, the first one I'd ever entered, and I was feeling pretty blue, and it was the day after actually, and so Guy had a piece of advice for me. He said, quote, "Don't give up on the poetry, mate. You've got to keep hope alive. I think you're a good poet. I think you're a very good poet. I think poetry is gay, but you're good at it." It's a quote from Guy. So it's the first one there.
And those sentiments remain, you know? Those sentiments are still 100% true.
Also, I was talking about the Butt Chronicles on episode 18, which was 2 years ago. So that's how long I've been living with this condition.
So this is how long the house system takes to work over here, folks.
Yeah.
But, you know, straight after my birthday, transition to Armageddon, Tauranga, and my wrestling debut. That's right, people. I've been talking about it for a while. About exactly a year. But I made my pro wrestling debut at Armageddon Tauranga. And it was pretty cool. So, for people that don't know, I've been training to be a professional wrestler for pretty much exactly a year now. I started I think on the 8th of June was my first thing, and it was to do a wrestling movie. Basically, one of the ideas I had, I wanted to do a movie about pro wrestling, kind of like a Rocky story, and I still want to do that. But I thought that I would, start training to do that, to film that, And so I didn't really have any more expectations beyond that at that time. I was just like, kind of do this, get a feel for it, understand it better, be able to write about it more competently, and, that's it. But of course, at one point, as we've also discussed on this podcast, I did dream of being a pro wrestler. A 16-year-old Guy Pigton made a bet with his friends, a couple $100, that he was going to be a WWE wrestling superstar at the age of 30, not some mid-card jobber, or he would give Harley...
Quote, not a Saturday night jobber.
Not a Saturday night jobber.
And if he did, he would have to give me, Matthew Bain, Nico Medill, and there was one other, $100 each.
I haven't made good on that.
If he was not a professional wrestler of note or by age 30, he would have to give us each $100 each. And actually, you were like 14 when you signed that.
Yeah.
Not 16.
Well, I'm glad that I had no concept of money back then.
And he hereby gave Guy's honor. Now, Guy's honor is a big deal. If Guy gives Guy's honor, I mean, to be honest, this is actually the first time that Guy's ever broken Guy's honor to me.
Well,
let's call a spade a spade.
That's true.
Let's call a spade a spade. Guy broke Guy's honor.
It's only broke
when he turned 30.
If I don't give you the money.
Well, I am 34 now. Like you turned 34 3 days ago. You're 4 years overdue to give me a measly 100. I'm
overdue.
And so look, I don't mind if you break Guy's honor to Matthew Bain. You're right. I do care if you break Guy's honor to me. And Guy is
Nico Medill is
Guy's honor has been broken,
spinning down south.
So Guy's honor's been broken. So I've physically got that contract. I could take a picture of it and put it on the internet.
That contract is binding.
I do have a physical copy on paper of that contract signed by you.
So and if we carbon dated that, it would show that I did write that. 18 years ago.
How
many? 16.
For that, but yeah.
16. How many years ago? 18.
Something like that.
20 years ago.
20 years ago. It was 20 years ago.
Exactly 20 years ago that I made this bet. I now debuted as pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened is I started training. I was like, fuck, this is fun. This is cool. This reminds me of all the things that I love about wrestling. So I'm just going to keep doing it. And who knows?
Well, that's good for you. Now, it has taken quite a lot of time and effort from you, obviously, to get to this stage. It's already been a year.
It's been a year, and that's two
working hard.
2-hour training sessions per week normally.
4 hours a week has been contributed to this wrestling, which is a lot over the course of a year. 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah,
it's 200 odd hours a year being put towards this wrestling. There's also obviously you had to drive to Tauranga and put yourself up for a night. And you're going to Wellington tomorrow for wrestling as well, which is down in Wellington. You've got to find somewhere to stay in, all the flights and all of that stuff. And I'd just like to say that you're a dickhead because wrestling for you is poetry for me. Only my poetry performances were like, one night a week.
Yeah.
So all of that massive poetry argument that we had, what you're feeling is wrestling. Wrestling is effectively my poetry, and I'm not sitting here saying you should be concentrating on short films or something else like that.
Well, I am concentrating on those as well. I mean, I don't think that, yes.
Well, so was I.
I guess so. But, everyone's got their hobbies.
Exactly.
But what was the argument back then? The exact argument?
The argument, well, you have to go back and listen to it, the great debate. But
I listened to it once. It was
horrible. I bet it was. I couldn't listen to it.
Bored out of my mind.
Yeah, they all were. Everyone was bored out of their mind on that one. Now, I don't remember. Let's not get back into it. But we actually need to wrap it up anyway. But I did also want to give a shout out to Sam Wheeler, because he had to put his dog down not that long ago, and she was a lovely old thing, and so it's obviously really tough times, and I had to put my dog down, my old dog, one day, after 13 years, and so it was very, very tough. So I feel your pain, mate. So just and he's a listener, so chin up. And I hope you can get through it, and I sympathise with what you're feeling. Obviously, it's very tough to say goodbye to an old friend like that.
Yeah, well, I remember when I had to put my dog down as well, and it was sort of... Also, I think in a way it was worse for me because she seemed so healthy. When your dog is really sick and really ill, there is at least some solace in the knowledge that you're like, well, okay, but how much quality of life are they having, and how much are they enjoying getting up every morning? Because sometimes it is not better to go on. And for my dog had cancer of the throat, so and there was a belief that they could maybe remove it. And so we took our dog up to... I drove my dog up to Christchurch to...
It's about a 5-hour drive.
To get the surgery, because they didn't do the surgery in Dunedin, and this was when I was still living in Dunedin. And, I think it was just heartbreaking because she seemed completely normal. It was very hard to tell that there was anything wrong with her. She didn't seem like she was in pain or there was any issue. And I took her, and I stopped off and took her for a walk on our way up. And, the sun was shining, it was perfect, it was along the beach, it was beautiful, she was running around having the time of her life. And I was like, shit, this is just too perfect. This is just too perfect, this is too nice. And I feel like this is so nice for a reason, because when we get up there, it's going to be bad news. Because otherwise, this moment just seems so random. So anyway, we did take her up there, and basically they performed the surgery, but they said that what they'd found is basically the cancer in her throat had metastasized to her heart, so they were kind of connected. So they could basically sew her back up. They couldn't remove all the cancer, and should be recovering for a long period of time because it's a major surgery, and then should be starting to get sick from the cancer.
Yeah.
As so we couldn't really... There were... It was kind of like putting her through a lot of pain for maybe, a few more months.
Yeah.
When we would then have to put her down anyway.
When she'd start then going into a lot of pain.
Exactly.
Related to the cancer as well. Yeah.
So I said, no, look, you just have to put her down. But
so did you when she went into the surgery, did you say goodbye to her as if she was dying, or is it?
Well, I did actually,
or as if she was going for an operation. Because obviously, if you say goodbye as if she's going to an operation, and then she's under when you've got to make that decision, it's really tough to then say put her down, because you might feel like you didn't really get the chance to truly say goodbye as if she was dying.
Oh no, I definitely said goodbye. I thought that she was gonna make it through the surgery and stuff like that. Well, at least part of me thought and hoped that she was, but I also definitely said goodbye like she was dying.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a good thing.
Well, I don't know, because I was probably stressing her out because I was crying so much.
Right.
But yeah, so I have seen Sam's updates on Facebook and stuff, and I really feel for him, and very sorry to hear that, mate, and can sympathise.
Well, this has probably been the most depressing episode we've ever made.
If you thought last week
was depressing but funny,
this week,
this is just depressing. But look, guys, we'll all get through it. Okay, go team.
There's always next week. Yeah. There's always tomorrow.
This is a podcast about our lives. You got to expect this stuff every now and then. But we are going away I'm going away for 12 nights. So we might do a Skype podcast.
We'll try our best.
Yeah. And we will keep you posted about the wrestling and the acting and so on. So if you would like to support us, go along to Patreon and search Pigville. Go along to Facebook, search Guy and Harley. Hit like, do all of that stuff.
But before we go, we just have to sign off with a poem from my girlfriend, Shani.
Well, this is Guy's poetry segment.
So this is, well, it's Shani's poetry segment, really. But she wrote a little poem because we were talking about, in the last podcast, people being number one.
Right, babe number one.
Babe number one.
And how she was your babe number one is a quote from last week.
Yeah, from things. So,
yeah, okay.
So this is her poem.
Which I found absolutely hilarious. When I listened to that, I found it absolutely I laughed out loud at that.
Yeah, I barely remember it, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just some stupid shit I said at the time.
Uh-huh.
But this is Shani's poem. We may as well just call it Babe Number One. I'm babe number one, so my boyfriend says. He swiped right, but didn't super like. He's met many babes swiping through the application based on just their looks with no justification. I'm babe number one. Is that an accomplishment? Or a backhanded compliment? Babe, you won. There's no competition. As he tells me in the missionary position. You're babe number one. I'm babe number one.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. I give it the official poet tick of approval. Shani, well done.
Good job on that one, Shani.
That was good. It was good. Don't worry about it. You're babe number one.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Good night. You've been listening to the Guy and Harley podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.